Welcome back to another episode of the Offer Hustle. It's your favorite cousin, your DJ, MC, all in three, Deona Hustle. Big shout out to the shop. Shout out to NSPN as always. Big shout out to esai. All right, this week, this is number 33, by the way. So thank you for supporting the Offer Hustle because I feel like, I don't know, I feel like we've been doing it for longer, low key. But then at the same time, I feel like we're at 33. That sounds like a, that sounds like a long way from number one, from the first episode that we did where I had no idea what I was doing. But today's episode is a solo. Shout out to all the guests that we recently had. We've had some really fun people. But today, we got to catch up on recent events. And esai, you're going to have to grab the mic with me and talk with me. So the first thing I want to talk about is Cardi B and Nicki Minaj. Now, this happened like about a couple weeks ago, and I never really got a chance to fully address it. Now, I still don't have my notes, so this is just straight off the top of the dome. Now, I don't know if you know what happened. They were going back and forth. Now, the reason they started going back and forth was because Cardi B dropped her Am I the Drama album. Now, in that album, there is a clip of her beforehand saying that she was going to outsell. She was like, yeah, I'm going to drop my album. I'm going to outsell. Now, she never said what she was going to outsell. But the expectations, I believe, for her to outsell, Glorilla, which was kind of the highest, was 60,000. She was expected to at least, do that. So people are like, you weren't trying to say you were going to outsell Glorilla and them. And if you were, why would you be worried about the young girls? So they're saying that she was trying to outsell Nicki, which makes sense because that's the only person she's at the top of the pyramid. That's what you would aim for. Of course, after the first week sales, she did not outsell Nicki. So of course, Nicki got on Twitter, X, whoever's calling it that. And she just kind of started popping her stuff, making some, retweeting some stuff where they were just like, Nicki Minaj remains the, best performing female rapper, all these things. And so somewhere in that conversation, she did start making some jokes at Cardi B. Now, the reason I liked it was because Nicki was posting and deleting it. So it was so quick and people were catching it. Like, I had to turn Nicki's notifications on. I've never turned notifications on for anybody. But it was so quick, I had to catch it. And she was just making all these tweets. She was like, $4.99 face ass. And she said that because Cardi B discounted her album to be sold at $4.99. Most albums that's on, like, that she competes with are like $11.99, $12. She was selling it for a hot dog. So that's why Nicki kind of came on and started making some little jokes. From there, of course, Cardi B finally got back to Twitter, and they just started to bicker back and forth. Now, the first day of them going back and forth wasn't a big deal. It was real good. It was fun. I enjoyed myself. Shout out to Armand Wiggins. He had all the tea on his page. Shout out to him for keeping up with the posts and deletes. But the next day and the day after that, it started to get brutal. And that's when they start talking about each other's kids.
No.
And that's when stuff started. People, the outside people's like, oh, no. Like, y'all was cool with them arguing before, but now it's too far. So that poses the question, are kids off limit? And in rap, is there such a thing as off limits?
Yes.
And what do you feel like is off limits?
If the kid is younger than 18, I would say they're off limits. Yeah, no, just because you don't want to mess with the kids. Like, they leave them out of it. What they do? Yeah.
But okay, so
go ahead.
You feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
My question to you next is, how did you feel about the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef? Did you feel like they went too far with some of the things that they said to each other?
Did they bring each other's kids into it?
Yeah.
Well, what was the context of that? Because I don't remember them bringing the kids into it.
There was a song. Hold on, let me look it up.
Was it about not being his kid with Drake or something like that?
Yeah, you got two songs that they both. One was Meet the Grams, and the other one was Dear Adonis. Uh-huh. And Adonis, of course, is Drake's son.
Oh, okay. See, wait. I remember that now. Yeah.
He named the whole song after this little boy. It said Dear Adonis.
See, okay, but the thing is with that one, he did it gracefully where he was talking to the kid, not talking about the kid.
So that's better.
Yeah, because he was talking shit on his dad to him.
That's not bad?
To me, that's not as bad. I still say leave the kids out of it.
Right.
But that's not as bad as straight just talking shit on the kids. You know?
Okay, so what do you think about people maybe making, and this relates to kids. It might not be directly, but if you call somebody a PDF that's relating to kids.
Yeah.
So what's the difference?
Okay, the only question there is was there any truth to that? Nothing came out.
Nothing.
So it could have just been hearsay.
You know, there was a lot of hearsay in there.
Yeah.
And I understand in beefs there comes a time where you just throwing out wild allegations. But everybody was so for Drake and Kendrick going back at it. But now that Nicki Minaj and Cardi B started to buck up at each other and start talking about each other's kids, now I will note, I was watching this in live time, and I do not recall seeing Nicki Minaj start the whole talking about kids scenario. Cardi B was the one who even introduced the topic, where she started to insult and say that Nicki was infertile and all these things.
Did she got kids?
Nicki?
Yeah.
She has one son.
Okay.
So Cardi B, from what I saw in live time, she had introduced that conversation. Nicki had never just jumped off the porch. The thing is this, Nicki the entire time was talking about Cardi B's lack of rapping skills, her lack of pronunciating properly, which you hear it all the time. The thing is, Nicki was going for Cardi B's skill level and her rap skills. She never came at her about her family, Offset, none of that. The only time, the thing is, when Nicki did that, Cardi B then responded and start talking about her family, her brother who's in jail for something that has nothing to do with Nicki. She started to take jabs at things that weren't Nicki. If she's coming at you, you have to then be like, well, you got a bad BBL. Like, I don't know. But you can't, but you're going for the personal and the family. So that's how I've always viewed that argument that they had is Cardi B had no real rebuttal for Nicki. So she went to the family and then it got to the kids. So you can't be mad and be like, oh, and that's just how they are. If they're two consenting adults to talk about each other's kids and that's what they want to do, let them do that.
Yeah.
That's on them. It did get real wicked. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, yeah, y'all wilding. But
yeah, and see, that's the part where it's like there has to be a line in the sand there. Because, like, don't get me wrong. If you just say, like, talking shit and just making a joke, like, man, be quiet with them ugly ass kids. Like,
right.
You know, like that's keeping it light. You know, it's like whatever. But if they're getting a little out of pocket with it, then it's like, all right.
But who's gonna step in? Because it just eventually died down. Like because they have beef and it won't ever stop. It won't ever stop because I don't think you can fault Cardi B for the fact that she's being pushed and she does not have talent in rapping. Yeah. She's far from a talented rapper. I won't fault her for that, but the part that people can fault Cardi B is she is acting like she's the queen of rap. And when you come for that type of title and you don't even write your rhymes, and Partisan Fontaine / Jordan Thorpe is on every single one of your songs on the album, you can't sit up there and say, yeah, I'm the best rap girly. No, you can't. Say you good at fashion. Say you look good in this. Say you're a personality. I think Cardi B's a personality and entertainer.
Yeah, and I would say you're biased, but because you love Nicki. I know you love Nicki.
The thing is, I might love Nicki, but that does not make me biased, only because I can see the truth. Right. I think Cardi B makes some songs that are hits.
No, for sure.
I don't care for some of the songs, but some of them is like, they're cool records. But you're trying to make it seem like you are the top, the head, the HBIC in charge, and you're not.
Nicki is the queen of rap. That's
what Billboard said.
Yeah, and longevity wise, no one could touch her. It's like, so you're not wrong.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I can be a Nicki fan and still read The Room.
Yeah.
And The Room is saying that Nicki will forever still be at number one because we're pushing people that are not talented rappers. Yeah. And I feel like that's low key scary because Cardi just accepts the fact that she's a ghost, like she has a ghost rider. Like she does not. She
leans into it.
She leans into it.
Yeah.
So it's like people accept that. So what does that mean for the future of rap? Even Bia said, why would I keep arguing or going back and forth dropping diss records? Because I'm not rapping to her. I'm rapping with her writers. Yeah. And low key, that's true. No, so what do you do then? Just chunk it up.
So do you think Nicki should have even, said anything back?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because when you're at the top though, like you don't want to stoop down,
That's not stooping down.
Well, it is in a sense.
You can't nitpick. If somebody had a podcast company and they came into your territory, making it seem like they were running Kansas City or running or whatever, however they make it seem. Yeah. But you've been here in the heart, in the soul, in the trenches. and everybody knows your work, but they coming at it because they have maybe more money behind it.
This has happened.
Well, and my point is, if they ended up disappearing because they didn't do well, because they weren't built for it.
Yeah, and see, that's where what I'm saying though, like.
But you'll retweet a little. You'll retweet a little something. You wouldn't do too much
for fun.
That's what I'm saying. If
I was 20 years in the game, which I don't know if Nicki's 20 years, she's probably right around there.
Right around there.
But like, if I was that far in the game, I would not give them no motion in what they're saying.
But I think she already has motion. Like, I feel like if this was somebody super low level,
for sure,
they're pushing Cardi B as a top rapper.
And time is the best tell of that. Like
longevity, facts.
If Nicki's still around and Cardi falls off, who won?
But I don't think that's even going to matter, because my whole thing is people are pushing Cardi.
Yeah.
She has a great marketing team. Yeah. Like, the rollouts for certain things are really good. The talent just is not there when it comes to rapping. Yeah. It sucks. Yeah. And that's
it's an image thing with Cardi.
It's an image thing. And sometimes visibility is more than talent. And I do understand that, because that is, that's important sometimes. It depends upon what field you're in. You could be the most talented person ever, but if no one knows your name, it's pointless. And it's unfortunate, but that's real. That's why I said you can't fault Cardi for that. But the part that I can look at Cardi and be like, you need to play your role and be cool. You're not the top rapper, because in order to be a rapper, I forgot exactly how Nicki said it, but you gotta write raps. That's the bare minimum. What are we doing? I don't know. I even write raps. I'm not even a rapper, but I can sit here for at least 30 minutes and come up with at least 8 bars. At least.
What do you always say? I'm with you when you write.
I'm with you when you write. I'm with you as you write. So then I'm gonna switch over to Offset. People are on Twitter and TikTok too, mad at Offset. Not because of the reasons you think, not because he cheated on Cardi B and all these things. Reasonable things to be upset about. But they're mad at him because he's promoting his album. And they're also now mad at Keke Palmer. They're like, Keke, why are you giving him a platform? The man is promoting his album. This is the same thing I said on like episode 4 or 5. When I was growing up, I thought Tiger Woods committed murder, because the way that they tore that man up on CNN and MSNBC, you would have thought he was a part of Al Qaeda. They had that man down bad. Then when I grew up, all I found out was that he was a cheater. Now, granted, he really was cheating. I think he was like a serial cheater. Like, he was sleeping with a bunch of women. It was crazy. But still, this man cheated on his wife. That's it. That's a lot. I'm not saying it's not. But Offset ain't put his hands on Cardi. He ain't he's gonna promote his album. Cardi and Keke Palmer, leave good sis Keke Palmer out of this. She's doing her job to interview people. And the good thing is, like, Cardi B's been going around doing her press release and, her PR. She's been using her pregnancy, relationship with Stefan Diggs, her breakup with Offset. She's been using all these things to help fuel the drama. So if he wants to get on a platform or two and then also answer questions and say, yo, I messed up, I did these things, but I'm moving on to my life, it's all love. Hey, I didn't mess around with Sweetie. That's another question. People think he lying, but no Sweetie hate will be tolerated on the Offer and Hustle. So that's all I got to say. I love Sweetie. Look, she always got a space here. Whether she did or she didn't, that ain't got nothing to do with me. But what I will say is I don't think Offset is wrong for promoting his album. Especially now that he getting a divorce. He definitely probably need to make sure he get his finances in order. So let that man do what he got to do. It ain't got nothing to do with that. And then let Keke Palmer, what she say? Baby, this is Keke Palmer. Let that girl live. She's doing her job. And the thing is, if you watch part of that interview, Keke was actually asking real questions. The questions people want to know. So I would understand if she got on that platform and she was just like, letting him slide. No, she was like, what happened with you and Sweetie? Like, she was actually asking stuff. So that's another thing. Like, relax. Now, this is off topic, and I want your opinion on this. I was thinking about this because when I'm driving, people can't drive, number one. I feel like I'm a very much elite driver. I grew up on Midnight Club, Dub Edition, Need for Speed, video games. So I was able to drive off rip before I even took my driver's test. But, But I noticed people that can't drive or maybe a little bit crazy, they always have bumper stickers. And I feel like people with bumper stickers equal road rage. What do you think about that?
I mean, it adds up. It adds up
because
like,
you're
if you take the time to put a sticker on your car, it's like
you're nuts.
Yeah, you're a little nuts.
If you putting a bumper sticker on your car, I just feel like that shows that you're opinionated. Because why do you feel the need to share your beliefs of anything while you're driving
with the people behind you?
like why is it this serious for you to have this flag on the back of your car?
Now,
it's not that serious.
If it was like a go follow the off-air hustle, that's one thing. It's promotional.
It's promotional. That's business. But people are sharing stuff that's not making the money.
Yeah.
You're just telling people that you're this, and it's a lot of hatred in the world. So the day we live in, I wouldn't even want to tell people certain things unsolicited because people will follow you. Like, people are crazy.
Yeah. So
people will see that, he's a so-and-so supporter. I'm finna follow them and make fake arguments with them. Like, Karens are out there.
Yeah.
Like, they will follow you to Sam's parking lot, Costco parking lot, and cause beef with you and then start yelling and screaming. So you have to be aware of that. But if it's a car with a bumper sticker, I'm move around because you're probably likely to throw up the bird or do something. It just equals road rage to me. I don't know. I was just thinking about that the other day and I was like, that's a little bit scary.
It's a random thought.
It was a random thought. That's exactly what it was. I'm trying to think about what was the other major headline. I did say no sweetie hate will be tolerated. So, I ain't even going to dive into that part. But shout out to Versus real quick. The Versus battle between No Limit Records and Cash Money. That's big for hip hop culture. I got a chance to actually interview Manny Fresh and it was a dope conversation. Shout out to Aaron McGee for hooking that up. Got a chance to meet him as well. Check out the pictures on my page, Deona Hustle. But I really want to attend this versus battle. Is it irresponsible of me to stop all the responsibilities I have just to go out to Las Vegas? Because it's on the 25th.
Not at all.
I feel like it's reasonable.
It is reasonable.
Yeah, it would be really dope. That's a big moment.
Isn't it like a winner take all?
I mean, yeah, it's just like
No. I heard that like companies, they're betting, companies are on the line.
Really?
That's what I heard. It could have been fake. It could have been fake.
I don't know. This is my first time hearing about it. That could be the case. Another breaking news that just happened 20 minutes ago. A judge dismisses Drake's lawsuit against UMG over Kendrick Lamar's "Not Like Us." What are your thoughts on that?
Rightfully so.
Why so? Why
it's hip-hop.
Why rightfully? Why
it's hip hop? No, and
but this is court. This is court. We're not talking hip hop.
It is hip hop though, because it all stemmed from the music.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay, but question for you then.
Go ahead.
And I'm just using these examples because these are top of mind. What's the difference between Drake suing Kendrick Lamar for defamation he's not suing Kendrick Lamar. He's suing UMG because he's saying that UMG helped push Kendrick Lamar's record, which I've seen a lot of evidence to say that that's true.
Well, doesn't he have a deal with them? Kendrick?
Yeah. So it's purposeful to push it, but he's saying they pushed it with intent to help destroy Drake. So that's why I said it can be true, but you gotta. Well, what's the intention there? Yeah. That's hard to prove that your intentions was to tear down Drake. Yeah, because you could just be like, I'm just supporting my artist.
But when you got distribution deals, you can't really. Intention isn't there. You know what I mean?
I get what you're trying to say. Yeah. But so back to my question to you: what's the difference between Drake trying to have this lawsuit against UMG, dealing with the Kendrick Lamar song of saying he's a pedophile, versus artists like Cardi B suing very high profile bloggers or people that are content creators to call defamation? Is there a difference, or what do you think about that?
I don't think any of that should. Defamation is a tricky one because
or to tear somebody. Defamation is to me just tearing somebody down on any level. Whether you're saying something that's untrue, whether you're pushing something that can't be proven that's true.
See, now if you're saying stuff that's untrue in an opinionated way, I believe that's freedom of speech. You know what I mean? So I don't think anybody could get sued, should be sued for that. Obviously, it's probably happened before, but I don't know. When it comes to bloggers or fucking journalists or whatever the case. It's noise, and all that publicity is still good publicity. You know, like how they say there's no bad publicity.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
you think that you feel that way?
100%. Now, in the case of Drake,
right?
In the case of Drake,
I don't
know.
I get. Yeah,
that's where it's like, so like that screenshot of of his house with the registered offenders.
Oh, okay.
Thing. The thing he used for the cover.
Okay.
The cover art.
Okay.
If that was real, then he's just talking shit based off of what he saw. So it's like, is it defamation?
Is it? So I mean,
and there was about 8 pings at his on there. So it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, well, the case is dismissed, so I'm guessing that is what it is. But my final take on that whole Drake situation, and I've seen some people who might consider themselves journalists speaking about this, where they're like, man, Drake needs to sit down on my podcast, or Drake needs to sit down with hip hop journalists who they might think are like straight up hip hop journalists. Mind you, these journalists have probably also conveyed that they don't like Drake. Not that they just feel like he lost the battle, which isn't the biggest deal. It's the fact that they feel like Drake is corny now. Like, they say these things, but the same people that might make these comments are like, but nah, Drake need to come sit down with me. Why would somebody come sit down with you on your platform? I don't agree with Cardi B often, but even she was like, if you don't like me, I'm not coming to talk to you. Which makes sense when you're at a certain level of your career. Now, it's one level that you could be at where maybe you're at a point where you're misunderstood. So maybe you do want to go on those platforms and kind of articulate what's going on and maybe show and express yourself to people. But on the level of Drake, you don't have anything you need to clear up as far as like who you are. Like, I met you at Aubrey. I met you at Buddy, when you was about to get shot in Degrassi. Like, this is how my generation, at least for most of us, have met Drake. So it's like, I'm still a Drake supporter, big Drake fan. Like, he's done a lot for the culture of music, specifically in the hip hop and R&B realm. Whether you want to call some of the things he's done more of a subgenre, I'm sure there are a bunch of subgenres he's filled. But my point is this: if the whole world of hip hop, of who people might want to consider hip hop, turned on Drake during that battle in a negative way. Not saying, no, I'm not talking about you just said, oh, maybe he won or he lost. I'm talking about your opinions and views of him changed, and you start speaking a little ill of him in a negative manner. Why would he come on your platform? And why would he feel the need to even discuss things with you when you've expressed your opinion? Then also, my second point, people are like, well, Drake is kind of hopping in a different lane of music. I've heard some songs from him, and I can see why people might think that. Because y'all told him when he needs some money or something or whatever it was said, he runs to Atlanta. You said when he does this, he runs to this. So if I was Drake, I'd be like, bet. I'm not going to fool with y'all right now. I'm going to let y'all breathe. And then we're in the climate where we're at now, where a lot of people are like, man, music is not... it's not hidden. Like, it's not, you're missing that superstar effect. There has to be someone, I feel, someone that's like the true hit maker that is consistently involved. And the reason I always have supported Drake, I mean, I love his music. I think the music is great. It's very relatable. He always puts on for the girls. Like, I knew about the strip club girls because of Drake. Like, he was naming them, supporting them, funding them. Like, he really be in the trenches supporting the people that you would never even think of. But with that, I would back off if I was him. I would just be like, you know what? I'm finna go another genre. I'll mess around and go country. He's not doing that. But I'm just saying, like, I'll be like, you know what? I'll let y'all have it. But we are currently in the system of, I feel like a lot of people are complaining about the state of hip hop culture or hip hop music. They not feeling it. They want some different sounds. But the other reason I've always liked Drake is because he always collab with people. Always. That's what Atlanta's good for too. Shout out to the A. Because that's literally how Atlanta has always moved, with the collaboration. And that's why Atlanta has a sound that no other place will ever have. From the Magic City culture to the lemon pepper steppers, like all of these things were engraved in Atlanta culture. And I feel like Drake has collabed with Atlanta artists like crazy. He's collabed with UK artists. He's collabed with the City Girls. He was who put the City Girls on. I knew about the City Girls before Drake, but a lot of people didn't. And once he put them on a song, they blew up like crazy. I remember we was so mad JT was in jail at that point. Like, she had to turn herself in like a day or two after that song dropped. Was it Kiki, Do You Love Me? I think it was that joint. But he's put on so many people by just allowing himself to be either like by him getting on a song and featuring it, or him allowing different artists to get on his song. And I feel like people disregard that. And like they just label it as, he trying to stay relevant. There's a business side of it where you need to be smart. Like you should keep trying to do different things. Cause the first thing people say, man, he got the same flow. He doing the same thing. So I don't think it's anything wrong with being like, oh, he's switching it up. His accent is changing. Like, he's fun. He switch it up, and then he gonna give us a nice simp record. He gonna tell us about a girl that broke his heart in the club. He gonna make us a song for us getting ready to go out to the club. He gonna make us a song if you want to go to Magic City and make it rain. He gonna make you a song for you riding home because you just lost your girl to somebody else. He's gonna make a song for every single occasion that a lot of everyday people are gonna deal with. Yes, he's gonna talk about his expensive things that you probably can't afford. Aim higher. He's gonna talk about things that you never thought that you could even imagine. Dream harder. But Drake is very relatable and always has been relatable. And to try to say you're going to kick him out of hip hop culture because he lost a rap battle. I was born in late 90s. And I really don't even like saying that because really I was born in mid 90s. But my question is this to viewers. Who won the Nas versus Jay-Z battle? Because when I did a little bit of research, because that wasn't my time period, but when I did a little bit of research and talked to some people that might have been around during that period of time of music, a lot of them said Nas came out with the dub because he came out with Ether. I don't know, at least I'll do some research. I don't know what song Jay-Z came out with during him and Nas going back at it. But my point is it's 2025 and that song has no playback value because I haven't heard it. Ether has playback value. People mention Ether as one of the best diss songs ever. No Vaseline, Ether, and Not Like Us, of course, will be in their rotation, but there's many other songs. My point is, Jay-Z is, at the top of the pyramid when it comes to the male hip hop scene. That didn't deter his career. So why would it deter Drake's? Just because the rap battle turned out how it did. I don't know. Did I make some points?
You did, 100%. And the one thing, this is a little off topic. Mm-hmm. I look, I get it, but I don't.
It sounds like he finna say something crazy.
I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna lose a lot of people here, but Jay-Z, I don't get the best rapper argument.
You don't get that? Who do you feel like should get best rapper then? Is there or at least maybe above Jay-Z in your opinion?
It's so tough. As far as rapping ability goes, yeah, but as far as rapping ability goes, and I'm not gonna say anything to like what he's done recently, but Lil Wayne to me is one of the greatest to ever do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I feel like he's like way above Jay-Z. Like Jay-Z is good, and I've heard about his stories of how he can freestyle. Like every one of his songs is basically like a freestyle in the booth. Yeah, and that I got you could get the respect for.
Yeah, absolutely.
But as far as the music goes and like the rhymes and stuff, like even rhyming and stuff, I would say he's definitely elite. But when it comes to the music and like how it's presented and how it's received, I don't think anyone has really touched Lil Wayne.
As far as like hit songs,
not even so much hit songs, just like ability to rap.
Just period. Okay.
Yeah, and to me, like Lil Wayne is who put Drake on. Like.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And he was able to make versatile music the same way Drake's able to make versatile music.
Yeah, I get that.
Like how they put Eminem as the greatest rapper, but he has one rap ability. He's one sided. He's
not going to get on a rock star type of beat.
Never.
Like Wayne has before. Yeah. I get what you're saying. Like you feel like he might be one dimensional in a sense of the type of rap that he's offering.
Right.
I understand that. Yeah. Once again, since I was born in 96, my perception of when people be like, what's your favorite top rappers? I hate when older people ask me that when they like have an old mindset because like if you don't say old artists like
Nas,
Tupac,
Jay-Z,
Nas,
Tupac,
Biggie.
Yeah.
Bro, Tupac was dead by the time I was born.
Yeah.
Only a few months. But that's not my generation. That's not who I grew up with. So what I tell people is I grew up literally YMCMB, Soulja Boy era.
Yeah.
Like Franchise Boys early like that. Like that's my era of music. So it's like I never had a Nas and Jay-Z as like, oh my gosh. Right. But I have heard plenty of songs about both of them and I enjoy it. Like I got plenty of songs. Like I think Jay-Z is cold. I understand why Jay-Z is on the top of many people's lists. But Wayne is on the top of my list as well.
Right.
So like I understand. I do think Jay-Z, well, when you compare Jay-Z and Lil Wayne has seemed to be more versatile in the sense you're talking.
Yeah.
Like Lil Wayne has hopped on so many different beats, which speaks to how Nicki is, speaks to how Drake is. Right. They do a little bit of everything. They singing on songs.
And like the Carter had already been out, and when I was in elementary school, Rebirth came out. And that was when I was like, oh shit, like this is nothing like what he's done before. And so like that showed that versatility, but it's just the quotables, that's always big.
Jay-Z has some great quotables.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah. For sure. But with Lil Wayne, he says stuff that like,
oh yeah, they both, that's what I'm saying. I understand it being neck and neck.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I need to do a little bit more research on some of Jay-Z stuff to be, because I mean I rep for Lil Wayne easily.
Right.
That's easy.
Okay, so going a little bit before our time, Biggie, Tupac. Who do you hold to the higher regard?
Tupac looked better. Like Tupac was fine. Like,
I'm not talking about looks. I'm talking about his
I'm just putting it out there. Like Tupac was fire. Like I know this is in the conversation. Yeah, I know. I'm just saying Tupac was hella. Like he was fire. Like for sure. Like I get why Jada Pinkett be Jada Pinkett, and I get it. Like for sure. I get the concept of Tupac, but I ain't gonna lie, the beats Biggie was on were more appealing to the type of music I like.
For sure.
I like chill and mellow, like I mean, I love it when you call me big pop, throw your hands in. Yeah. I like the cadence of his stuff a little bit more. I like Tupac's, I love Tupac as well, but I probably, for the music style of music I lean to, which is more chill, Tupac was a little bit more rah-rah.
I don't know, like Changes.
He wasn't like
Dear Mama. Like
yeah, but those are like, he had those songs. I'm not saying he was very meaningful. Like I would give, like Tupac was saying some real stuff.
Yeah, I would love to have seen how they did with Time. You know, because obviously they got cut short. Course. But I don't know. I think they're both good, but I honestly might give it to Tupac. So
yeah, and I mean, like I get both of them. Like I don't.
And it's just whatever your flavor is. For sure.
And a Biggie has more songs probably that I play, like Sky's the Limit. Like he plays, I like real chill, mellow type of vibes. Like I was just posting on Twitter my playlist recently, and I'm listening like K Tronada. I love that. His stuff be cold. Yeah. The Internet, Victoria Monet, like Kim. And it's more chill R&B. That's like I like that type of vibe. Yeah. So when you get on when a rapper get on a little simp record and the sky's the limit, that's hard to me. I love it is. Yeah. But no, Tupac has some great classics too. But I heard Biggie on more of those type of vibes than I did for Tupac, so I go that way. Cam Newton, I don't know if you watch his podcast, but I enjoy his podcast. We're gonna try to reach out to him and see if we can get him on the show, because he has this thing he's doing called 106 in Sports on BET. So I definitely want to talk to him about that. But that ain't what we about to discuss with Cam. It's him explaining why he asked his current girlfriend, Jasmine, for a list of previous partners prior to the relationship. Now, you just made a little face. Tell me what you think. As a married man, what you think?
Okay, so it's different. Because, like, we're on a local level. They're on a big stage. So, like...
But his girlfriend is not like a super famous. I mean, she's an actress and a comedian now, but she wasn't a.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like the circles that she was in before meeting
probably
him
a little bit
were probably of the higher stature.
I don't think so.
But what I'm getting at is like,
you think she was around some ballers?
Well, in a sense, I would want to know. I wouldn't want no goddamn list, because if you got a list, I ain't with you in the first place.
Okay, it don't have to be a laundry list.
Yeah, not no laundry list.
You don't want to know no names?
But like, I would want to know only if there is a possibility that I would be in the same room as them.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because I wouldn't want to be looking stupid. And
that's what he was saying. Yeah. And I think that that's valid.
It is in a sense, but at the same time, you know who you're dealing with.
Yeah, but
you know
we should. Okay, so I think there's nothing wrong with getting a list because, I mean, we're still in our 20s. So to me, it's only so many names. I mean, it's so many people that should be on your list, number one. When you hit 40 and 50, I get why people be like, baby, I don't remember who the... I get that. But we're still young. So like Nicki said, the night is still young and so are we. Okay, I just had to throw that there. Anyways, back to regular schedule program. Yes, put a list down.
Well, is this a literal list?
Well, it's just, I don't think it's a lot.
Or is he just like, tell me? Because it's different.
He just said he wanted a list. This is what he said. He said he wanted a list before they started dating of who she was involved in, so that if he's in a room with them, he don't want to feel like somebody has a one-up on him. Because he just is not in the know. And I understand it because you don't want to pull up thinking that you got a bad one. Be like, hey, bro, you see you like, hey, she, and then he come up to you be like, man, you got a good girl, keep her.
And that's where I'm saying, like, if you were in the industry and she was in the industry in those circles. She wasn't. Okay, if she wasn't in those circles before.
Because it's Cam in the football world and she wasn't, So
to me, it's double-sided. If she's not in those industries and the circles you're in are now people in the higher class like that, I wouldn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But if she was in those circles,
if it was people that I might know,
at the same time, I would also not give a fuck because I know who I'm dealing with.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean?
Give me a list.
Keep it to yourself. Don't tell me. In those times, you know?
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, a list would be nice, but I don't think that I think it makes sense though. Just don't embarrass your person because I understand too. Sometimes you like maybe it just happens and you forget that this person is even. You like, oh dang, I forgot to tell. You do need to tell that person because
you know what I'm thinking about though.
What?
Like you asked for this list, right? Yeah. And then you see some names that you're like, oh, no.
Exactly. So you can then determine if you want to pursue that person.
I know, but imagine before the list, everything was going great. And y'all was really clicking. Y'all let it, and then one little name is gonna make that all go away.
But wouldn't you rather know?
It becomes relevant where it was irrelevant.
Nah, you know what I mean? To know if that's something that's important to you. You need to know up front before you start to have feelings and all these things. Now it's harder for you to walk away, or now you really just conflicted. Yeah, you could have just dealt with that from up front because it is certain. Like I understand, it's really not even about. It's really about who the people are. Exactly. Like you'll be thrown off by somebody you're talking to now, and they tell you, "Yeah, I used to talk to." You be like, like what? What do you take me as? I understand that because it's sometimes if they mess with certain people, you probably will be like, "That's embarrassing." Yeah. Who knew about that? Right. Like because now I'm a part of this circus too, even though it might have been 3 years ago. They want to know just so they can, because just imagine you with your peoples and. Somebody just roll up on you and you just like, oh yeah, I went to high school with your wife. She didn't tell you about me. Like you be thrown off. You be like, what? Yeah. And then they had a whole situation and your wife is now telling you like, oh yeah, by the way, babe, when I was in high school, me and him did da 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 da. And it's something that you never even imagine her doing. Right. You're thrown off now because you're like,
all arm around you. You got a good one.
Yeah. So now you're looking at your wife like, I didn't know. So just knowing ahead of time.
And like Kansas City's small. So sure. I would want to know any and everybody for sure.
Yeah. I think you should definitely ask if you're in a city that they grew up in their whole life. Yeah. You need to know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because everybody knows everybody. But I just think that's something, if you want to take somebody seriously, if you're intentional with them and you kind of want to be involved with them for real, you should tell them. If you're just hanging out with them, I don't think you need to tell them your business. Yeah. Because now they know your history.
I don't know. I don't want to fuck up your segue on this.
No, I don't have a segue. Okay. Please. I don't have anything. I'm scrolling.
Okay. Perfect. So the body count situation.
Right.
Should that be a factor?
I think it should, depending upon your age.
Sure.
And just maybe your status. Okay. So like if you are, a public figure.
Is there a double standard?
With men and women?
Yeah.
I think it's always going to be a double standard. Right. Because that's how society works. Yeah. And a lot of men, and even women, because it's just the way of the world, are misogynistic. Like we're all misogynistic to a degree. because that's the standard is to that men can do this, women can't do that. Yeah. Women can do this, men can't do that. Like, it's just there.
Yeah.
So I think absolutely it's there.
Have you seen this analogy though? Like,
what?
Take my drink. Mm-hmm. All right. Pass back. And we can do that probably like 30 more times, right?
Right.
It's not going to taint the drink.
Okay. It kind of can.
Stick my hand in the drink, though. You ain't going to drink it.
Right. You
know what I mean?
Right. You can stick your hand in the drink and it's done for.
Yeah. So that's where I say the double standard is.
I get that.
Yeah.
But, so I think that's a reasonable thing. Yeah. I just had this conversation with a friend or whatever, and she was just talking about, like, and she's super older. So she was just speaking about how, like, I mean, she's 50 and grown and all of those things. And she was just like, girl, she was joking with me. She's like, girl, every 7 years, it erases like a Carfax. But I thought that was funny because I know when you're older, it's different.
Yeah.
We look at it at a certain way because we're still young, and we still look at it like it shouldn't be too crazy.
Right. I'd say.
Because if it's kind of crazy,
what's the cutoff age for giving a fuck about it?
I think when you're like closer to 40.
Yeah.
You kind of have to.
I say 35.
Yeah. I can understand that. That's what I'm saying. Closer to 40. Like you're leaning on 40. That might be when you kind of stop caring. Yeah. I don't know.
But like to me, if it's like if you're say 25 and you're well over 50, I'm like, bro. Yeah, I'm cool. I'm good. Yeah. I
can understand that. I mean, I don't think anybody's going to really tell you that.
Okay.
That's the thing too. I feel like if someone's number is that crazy, they're not gonna disclose.
What do they say? Guys lie up and girls lie down.
Probably.
Yeah.
That makes sense. You're not really gonna.
You won't get the truth.
You're not gonna probably get the truth. So that's why I tell, like, for guys at least, like, we talking like men, like heterosexual relationship. If it's a man and you're like, yeah, she told me this and that. Like, if you are really concerned about that, you have to find your own comfortability because she probably didn't tell you the truth. And then if she did tell you the truth, you're probably going to not believe her anyways. So it's like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. So you need to kind of be comfortable in knowing your line of being like, hey, I don't mind. And I know a lot of guys that, at least on social media, be like, I don't care about what women do before me.
Yeah.
It's just some guys on like comments of sections. There's like, no, I can't have no girl you're not even talking to anybody.
Right.
Like nobody's coming your way. Yeah. So like, but if you're a guy that has that maturity and you're okay with that, then that's cool. But if you are at a stage in your life where you are very immature and certain things are more important than you, right now, then you shouldn't date women, even if you think that their number is at a certain point.
What's the word you use? Promiscuous?
Promiscuous. That was a good song by Timbaland and Nelly Furtado. Fire.
Yeah. So that's the part that's like, I don't know, maybe it was more accepted 10 plus years ago or whatever.
What was more accepted?
A promiscuous woman.
You think it was more accepted in the past?
Yeah, I think it's switching back up. I think there was so I think it was like a wave, and it went, and there was a peak.
Why do you think the wave is high? Why do you think that it's like not okay now? Like, what society's not accepting it?
I think because there was a societal shift of where women were moving more in the way that they seen men move, like just because it's like if they can do it, we can do it too type thing.
Right.
And I think that was in a sense a detriment, and a lot of guys got turned off by that that way of moving, and now it's kind of shifting back to like the
pendulum
people
is
say
swinging.
It's like like there's less women to choose from now because the standard is shifting back to like you don't want a woman who was promiscuous, and like was.
And I'm gonna say this too, since you're mentioning this, because I've heard certain guys say this, and this is not really true. Where people are like, man, ain't nobody gonna want that lady or whatever because of maybe something you think that she did that she probably didn't do.
Right.
Whatever it is, a perception that you might have of somebody because you see her on flyers of parties. Like, I get that. Trust me, I get it. When you keep seeing somebody, even if it's a man, you steady see this man on flyers and he's not a DJ nor a host nor a promoter. Why are you always on this flyer? Like, you must be outside. Like, that do give a little bit like, you give him a run down a little bit. I get that.
Yeah.
But
not always the case.
It's not always the case. But once again, know what you're comfortable with doing and know what you're not.
Right.
I forgot my point that I was finna make. Yeah. I forgot what I
But no, that does happen a lot too though, like where someone's carrying themselves in a certain way that is more free or open or whatever way you want to call it, and it gives off that look that you get around, you know? Yeah, and that goes for both sides for sure.
Absolutely.
But like you said, it's not always the case. Sometimes it's just they are free spirit.
Yeah. You know, but you gotta be comfortable figuring it. If you gonna figure it out with that person, buckle up, and you got to be happy with whatever result come on each end. Because you know what they say, you can't judge a book by its cover. Sometimes you definitely can. So keep your head on the swivel.
Something to do with that type of like relationship wise. That's pretty popular right now. Ayesha Curry. You been following that stuff?
Oh yeah, I would love to talk about that since you're a married man.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think. Yeah, please go ahead.
I would feel so slighted hearing all that stuff.
Why?
Because she's talking therapy talk to the world. You know what I mean?
No, it's 2025.
What does that mean?
This is normal conversation. She's on a platform that does this.
Right,
Shout out
and
to
it
the
is
girl. I don't know that
therapeutic.
lady's name, but she
I think it's Alex Cooper.
Okay, I just know her podcast name is Call Her Daddy because I always just be like, what is this?
Right.
It always threw me off.
Yeah.
It reminded me of like GoDaddy.com. Like how people never knew what that was.
Right.
And it was really a search.
The ads were very misleading.
Yeah, like it was very misleading. Like this is business. This is a business site.
Yeah.
But I've seen clips, and once again on social media, people don't watch full clips. So when you just see a clip of something, you're like, this is awful. But if you actually sit down and watch it, you know the conversations people are having, and they're not really saying like, oh my gosh, I hate my husband, I hate my wife. They're just expressing like, oh yeah, I never thought that I was going to get married. I was focusing on my career. Yeah. Like I just didn't see this coming for myself because this is the type of girl I was. But then things changed. Yeah. So I don't think it's anything wrong with Ayesha expressing herself. I think the part that people don't like is and these are real conversations that need to be had. People forget that whether you're a man or a woman inside of a marriage, you're still an individual. Mm-hmm. And when you get to talking about finding yourself and doing things for yourself, people get to getting on the fence and being like, you're married. You better just be Ayesha Curry and be Steph Curry's wife. Like people don't like when they have their own identity. And that's what I think the problem is. I don't even think it's the fact that she's a woman. I think it's the fact that people don't like when spouses say that.
And I think that's new age societal stuff.
It is new age. Well, what's new age?
I'm not
the conversation of it?
No, the mentality of it.
Meaning
like, I could be old school, could be old fashioned, but
old school in your mid 20s.
I know, right? I feel 65 sometimes, but it's like I feel that the most healthy marriages or healthy families, whatever. The husband and wife are one, you know, and that's where it's like you don't have your own identity at that point. And that's where it's like
that don't sound fun.
People like, so say like people who are artists or people who have a lot of big ambition, you know. Now maybe they don't have their own brand, but they have a lot of ambition and they like want to accomplish things on their own and do things like that. To me, it's like, at that point, you have to make sure you find someone that
matches that
is willing to, like,
dim down their life for you.
No, be super supportive of that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because, like, when it comes to a marriage, relationship, whatever the case may be, especially when kids start getting involved, it's like you can't, especially when kids get involved. A lot of people still think about themselves, and at that point, you made the decision to have some kids. Now it's about them kids up until they are able to fend for themselves.
To that point in time, yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So, like, that's where it's like your ambitions, to me, mean jack shit on either side, and like you as a unit could work together to figure that out. But at the end of the day, I believe in a marriage, you guys are one.
Yeah.
Not separate in the same household.
Yeah, well, I don't. You're married, so you know. Shout out to you. But I don't think it's that simple. For me, I only say that because I definitely know I'm an individual. And like I have my own set of this and that. Like, but I understand that you do need a merge. Like marriage, you're supposed to merge things. But I think when you get married young, there is a chance that because it's life. Like, even if you don't get married young, if you're with somebody for a long period of time, you're gonna change. Yeah. Your likes are gonna change. Your snacks are not gonna be the same as you were when it was 21. Yeah. And for them, they got married pretty young. So it's like she expressed that she didn't even really have time to like settle into the marriage. Which I do understand when people do get married. Sometimes they're like, hey, let's wait 2-3 years so we can just kind of be cool, build a solid foundation, then have kids. And so she just said that she kind of got pregnant pretty quickly. Things just start moving. And I understand that there's going to come a point in time where you feel like you don't know yourself. One, because all you're known as are these responsibilities to other people. You're known as a mom. You're known as a father. At least with Curry, he has his own identity. Like he's Steph Curry. Yeah. He wasn't Steph Curry when he first started. But he has his own identity where it's like, you known for this, aside from your wife, your family, and all of these things. For Ayesha, she's known because of being the wife. Right. So it's like if she was a career-oriented girl, because I know how career-oriented I am. If I was her, I'd be pissed. I wouldn't have let none of that. I would have been in Kansas. So and I just know how I am, and I know how she spoke about it.
That's a societal pressure.
And I think, of course, societal pressure is there.
Because it's like, who gives a fuck what your identity is? And at the end of the day...
No, that's what you mean. I didn't know you meant that. So, no, I don't think that you wanna have your own identity, bro. Oh,
okay, no. That's where it's person to person for sure. Because like, say I was in her shoes, right?
In whose shoes?
Ayesha's. And I'm just gonna just play devil's advocate a little bit. She has a beautiful family, good husband, successful husband. She can pursue anything she wants to pursue with the resources she has. And she could even do it at a high level immediately.
If she has the time.
She can make the time. You know what I mean? Like when you got that money and she don't have no newborns.
I don't think so.
You know, so like
I think they would have had 3 kids. I think they have 3.
They both got parents that I'm sure are involved in the kids' lives.
Hopefully, we can't assume.
We can assume.
But carry on.
Yeah, we can assume. I feel like all this banter of her not being able to have her own identity and stuff is just like getting drunk and spilling your emotions.
I don't think so.
I think so because
it's crazy.
What's stopping her from having her own career or doing her own thing or pursuing her dreams?
What's stopping her from doing some of the things is I don't know what her career was at the time.
Right.
I didn't watch the whole thing. Yeah. So one, her profession that she was studying could have been time sensitive. Like it's some things you're 30 or 40, baby, it's done.
Yeah. She was trying to go be a doctor.
That's what I'm saying. Medical fields, and the way she's talked about the career, I figured like it was something that was a little bit deeper than regular.
I don't know no doctor that got $100 million in the bank.
They got what?
$100 million.
That's not the point. That's not the point.
No, but that's what I'm
saying.
Purpose of getting a doctor.
Something that might, I think too, is the people are like mad at her because they're like, well, if I was in your shoes, I'd be happy. Like that's easy when you don't have nothing to be like, hey, I would be happy just being a wife and not doing anything and just taking care of the kids and that's my identity. I'm just a soccer mom. I don't do nothing for myself. I'm just going to the games. I'm packing up lunches. Like, you know, I'm a maid. Like you probably have money for these things, but you still have to be a parent and you know, do the parent things, which is cleaning up, cooking and you know, scheduling and all these things. So I feel like it's 2 things. I'm not saying she doesn't have the money or resources to pursue it, but it could have been time sensitive where it's like, baby, now it's gone. The dream is gone. You miss your window. Or it could be she's just now coming to terms with she feels like she doesn't know who she is outside of her marriage or she doesn't know who she is outside of motherhood. And that's the piece that I understand because I hear a lot of moms at least speak to this. I think guys have a position, not all guys, because it's a lot of single fathers out there who take full responsibility and do things. But I feel like if you are the main parent, whether you're in a 2-parent household or not, things fall on you. Yeah. Everything falls on you emotionally, just everything. So it's Steph Curry. So I mean, how many games they have a season? Right. He's not probably there as much as she is. Yeah. I mean, of course, he's still very involved in his kid's life, but he's not there as much as she is. Yeah. So that puts the pressure on her to be like, that's just her role. Right. So I think it's
and I can be empathetic to that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like if you are just a mother for 18 years, and now your
husband's not home all the time.
Yeah, like he's in, he's doing his thing and all of these things. Like, what the hell are you doing?
And so like that's one factor I didn't take into account when she's all talking about how like she's dying for male attention. Like she don't get the male attention she wants.
I mean, that's valid.
Now it is valid because of
everybody
her not having the man in the house and all that. Yeah, and I'm not naive to that, but at the same time, like, don't say that shit out loud.
I can understand the don't saying it. I have to listen back to that clip because I feel like it was more context to her just than saying that I miss male attention. Like I think it was more. Well,
she was saying that like that Steph gets all this attention from different females, and she knows that and all that, and she would like to get some attention from other males and stuff. And which, for me, if my lady said that, I'd be like, hey, look. You can go ahead and go get that male attention, but you ain't gonna be with me. You know what I mean?
If it just depends on who it is because I don't know. I think I'm super understanding because I think it's normal for like I think if there was a man in Ayesha's position, he would have been ruined it. Because sometimes men's ego, not all the time. I know a lot of
women got big egos.
I know a lot of level-headed guys. So it's like I don't even know guys that would do some of these things. But there's some guys out there that have egos more so than women. And I feel like when you're around guys, I've noticed it like from afar, or I just see them business-wise or I'm working with guys. When I'm like hosting events and stuff, I've seen more pissing contests amongst men than I do women. You'll see more men trying to steal each other's shine and do all of these things 100%. Because they're ego tripping. They're like, man, I got more women out here. Like, bro, like, do your thing and it's gonna come and show. But it's like you're showing that you care too much. Yeah. Where I see women, I don't see women do that as much. Not saying they don't do it, but maybe they're a little bit slicker about it. Yeah. But I think that I think
women be faking with each other a lot, way more than men do. But like with
I'm not saying they don't.
As far as what you just said though. I do this a lot, but it's like that's boys. Most men don't move like that.
You're saying boys and men type of thing.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's different mentalities and
depending upon how mature you are, you feeling like that's
and like how much your identity truly matters.
I think your identity. You need to know. Don't get me wrong.
You want to carry yourself in a good way. You don't want to carry yourself poorly, but. To make your identity everything is something that you're not doing for yourself. You're doing it for other people. You know what I mean?
I can't agree with that, but I can understand. I guess I can understand why you feel that way. But it's just and people ask this because I've seen people ask this. If you lost it all, everything around you, who would you be? And a lot of times we answer automatically with the role we play in people's lives.
Sure.
Well, I'm a sister.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people be like, well, I'm a radio personality. But who are you? Like, if you didn't have this job today, who would you be? Yeah. And, like, that is the piece of the identity. Like, it does matter. You do have to feel like you have a sense of yourself. Whether it's a role that you play in people's lives or a responsibility. If you are literally just being a parent for 10, hella years, there's gonna come a point in time where you kind of be like, damn, I ain't did nothing for myself. Yeah. Who the hell am I?
And I hate that because I don't like selfishness when you got kids. Like that selfish mentality because it's like.
Do you feel like that's selfish or that's just human nature?
I feel
not saying you're taking anything from your kids.
I feel it is selfish because like I'm not saying that like you're gonna get everything from your kids, but like It's different when you're raising kids and stuff, but like you get way more out of the things your kids do, the successes, the losses they take, whatever the case may be. You get way more out of that than you'll ever get for the stuff in your own life. And it sounds like fairy tale, but like it's true. Like it's like. No matter how much you're gonna put into yourself, you're gonna circle back to that family. You know what I mean? Like, so Ayesha, she's gonna go out on this identity search and do everything she can, but at the end of the day, she's not gonna find the fulfillment in that stuff compared to what she will with her own family.
Well, then that poses the question. That's what a lot of people think too. Is people think that other people are devastated about what Ayesha said because they're like, what? women aren't fulfilled by being a mom and being a wife. Like, no, that's not. Some people that might be like, that's all they want to do in life.
Yeah.
But a lot of people want more.
Yeah.
So that doesn't mean that, like, if your sense of happiness is you having that family and having a solid foundation and being able to pay the bills on time, and that's all you want in life, then that's going to be happiness for you.
Yeah.
But if you never even plan on doing something, and then of course you fell in love with this, you fell in love with Steph. You guys have, been together. I think they were high school sweethearts ultimately. Like, you guys have been together for your entire lives. This is all you know.
Right.
Which is why I've never been, for me personally, I've never been a pro. Jump off the porch, be in love your whole life with nobody. I've seen it work for certain people. Like, I know, like, my best friend and her boyfriend, they're perfect for each other. Like, that, like, knowing how they are, that is perfect. But other friends I know, I would never recommend that they be in love with the same person for, like, all of their, half of their life. Yeah. It doesn't seem fun to me.
And, like, I from experience, because I started talking to my girl at senior year. Mm-hmm. And I will say, like, it is all those things. Like, we're human. Like, we've had our ups and downs in a relationship, and but it's like, you choose that shit. You know what I mean? Like,
choosing to be there type thing.
He didn't tell her, like, you're having these goddamn kids. You know what I mean? Now, okay, he could have.
They could have been in a state where they couldn't do it. And then if you're going to be in a relationship, like, there's the two thing between having, as a married couple, if you're getting pregnant together, that person might not want the kid because maybe it's other factors. Like, I was watching Soul Food the other day, and the one girl, basically her and her Lim, a bird and Lim. Y'all know. Soul Food series, it's on YouTube. Go watch it. Basically, they have a kid already, and she actually has her own business, and her business is taking off. She was a hairstylist on a TV show too. Yeah. And they got pregnant. She did not want it, and ultimately he was like, "You finna kill my baby." Like, he was pissed. Yeah. I understand the upsetness because they had waited. I don't even know if it's upsetness a proper way to say it.
We'll say it is today.
We're gonna say it today. But he was upset by it. But it's like, if she was at a point in her career where she didn't want to do that. Yeah. Especially because she was expressing to him like, yo, I went through postpartum. Right. I went through all these bodily changes that I don't want to do anymore. Yeah. So I get, sometimes women don't be wanting to have a baby. Yeah. No, that's but they're married. So it's tough because it's like, how do you tell your husband or your wife that you don't want to have a baby that you guys decided to pursue? Right. Or maybe you didn't.
Right. It could have been an accident.
Yeah. That happens. But that's kind of tough, too. Like, you can't just be like, I'm going to the clinic and you're married. Yeah. The other person be pissed. No, yeah. And if it's a man, they're probably going to be pissed like I'm 10. Yeah. They're going to take it personal.
Yeah, no, I would leave. I would leave.
Like, you know what I'm saying? For like, sure. You would be distraught. So, I don't know.
Life's full of tough decisions. Like,
it can be. Things can be very tough. So, I mean, I don't think what Ayesha said was wrong. I think.
What about... Last thing I'm going to bring up. Go ahead. I don't know if Steph was there. He could have been the one to take the picture. But she was with like 5 homegirls and Drake.
Oh, her and Drake go back. She's from Canada.
I'm gone.
Yeah. Like, gone. She knew Drake.
Drake's notorious for sleeping with wives. I've heard plenty of stories.
I ain't gonna lie. Ayesha Curry been in her bag lately. I'm like, she been looking real good. I'm happy. Like, whatever she's like, I get it. You don't want to. No one wants to look like a mom. No one wants to look like a dad.
Yeah, but at the same time, I don't think a married woman should carry herself like that.
What does she do?
I don't know. Like,
you're mad at the lady because she looks good. She look good. She been there. I seen a picture of her. I'm like, who is this? I'm like, Steph Curry got to step his cookies up because he looked like the fan.
It's like married women posting pictures that are like, okay, like it's like thirst traps. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that's right neither.
The girl look good. She ain't posting nothing raunchy. She's covered up. Like, she just looks good.
Yeah, I know. But it's
that's
just like...
all it is.
It's knowing Drake's reputation and seeing her
they've been known each other. Well, and then Curry has spoke on, like, his relationship with Drake. Like, they have a pretty good, solid... Like, I mean, he's actually loyal. Shout out to Steph Curry. He's loyal because he was like, he got tired of hearing Not Like Us being played everywhere. He was like, even at the Olympics.
He didn't even bob his head do it?
No, he didn't. That's why I like Curry. I'm like, you know what? You're loyal. I love LeBron too, but LeBron is not loyal. No, that was unfortunate. But, life happens, whatever.
And I sound like Ayesha hater. I'm not Ayesha hater.
You do. I mean, hey, you better be happy your face ain't on the screen.
I know,
They'll
right?
get you.
They'll get me.
I'll post a picture of them.
Stop.
Last topic, and this probably gonna last us a good minute. This conversation, we talked about it on the radio. And I thought, actually, it's 2 topics. You pick which one we do. I'm finna read them off to you. One is, I saw this on social media. People said men are ruining club culture. That's one topic. The second topic is, Tyler, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Lepley, I think. He's from P Valley. He played on a lot of other hit shows. Anyways, he's biracial. He just looked black to me. I didn't know he was biracial. But he says growing up, he was at an all-white school. And basically his best friend was just randomly on the bus with him one day, and he was like, yo, you know what it is? Mm-hmm. And he was like, no. And he was like, that's you. He said the N-word. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, he didn't know, like, because he didn't know what that was, but he kind of felt like he kind of felt it. But his white best friend didn't mean anything by it because they were kids.
Right.
But it was just the fact that he attended an all-white school.
Yeah.
And I've heard people talk about, should people attend schools that represent them? So those are the 2 topics. You pick. Which one we discuss.
Both
which one seems a little bit...
The second one is more interesting. Mm-hmm. The first one, though, it's an easy...
It's an easy one.
Easy one. So I'll leave it up to
you. Let's talk about the last one.
All right.
Last one. I think that depending upon what city and state you're in, school district, all these things, I don't think that you should send your child to a school with intentions of forcing them to be in an environment that doesn't look like them. That's not what I agree upon. But what I do agree is, if you are sending your child to the best school district or the best school that you can, and it happens to be a school that is predominantly, black, predominantly white, predominantly this, predominantly that, then you should do that. Because we have seen a lot of, there's a lot of schools that are not equal. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, you see a lot of areas that get bad. They don't have resources. They're losing accreditation. A lot of bad things are happening, and the demographic is, a certain thing, and it's intentional. So I went to a Christian private school, mm-hmm. but I feel like that's definitely predominantly black right now.
Yeah,
I felt like it was half and half when I attended.
Yeah,
but it was a good school, so my mom put me in it. She didn't put me in it with the intentions of being like, oh, you can't be around your people. But I do think if the school, the education, the curriculum is a good school, it does not matter if it's predominantly one way or the other. You probably should, if you have the resources, to send your kid there. Thoughts?
So, a couple thoughts. So, like, I would say that, like, Mexicans and black people are in the same boat when it comes to that, mm-hmm. because we get similar looks as far as the first-hand judgment, mm-hmm. Of being in a predominantly white area. Mm-hmm. And I think from a parent's side, mm-hmm. education is definitely a factor. Yeah. But also, because of the world we live in, mm-hmm. I think there's a benefit to sending them to a predominantly white school, mm-hmm. just because they're going to be
Why you feel like you want to engulf them now?
They're going to be faced with versatility that they wouldn't be at a school that's there people that look like them,
Yeah.
And I think that's missing in a lot of people's lives. And I could say from experience of that helped me open my eyes to see that, like, one, we're more alike than we're different. Mm-hmm. And two, the bigotry and ignorance mm-hmm. of people. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that automatically, I think, gives people a one up to be able to,
prepared for the world,
to be able to even understand it or mm-hmm. recognize it too. And then that way you can move through mm-hmm. the world in a way that's gonna be, safer for you, mm-hmm. and you're just aware, more aware than what if you weren't in those areas.
Yeah, I get that. I get that idea, and so I think I agree with what you're saying, because I do think that is important. But you should know your kids and know that you still have to teach them things, whether or not regardless of what type of school you're sending your kids to.
Yeah,
you have to still teach them hey, that's not okay, or hey, this is that.
Right.
But I do get, at least from a black kid's perspective, you want to make sure that your kid is culturally like engulfed in everything. Like I get that.
Yeah.
Because you want to have that peace. So that's important too, where you don't want your kids to, start acting like
that should happen in
people
the household.
that they not.
The household should be strong enough for that to happen. You know what I mean?
I perhaps.
Yeah.
But you just want to make sure, because I don't think that it's going to I do think that is a big component. Like, how you're raising your child is important.
Right.
And that will bleed off,
because you definitely don't want them to lose sight of where they come from, or their culture.
Who they are. So it's like, if you are going to send your child to a school like that, you definitely should make sure you just have conversations with them. Like my mom, we used to watch I got a lot of my educational pieces off movies that my mom would make me watch. Or TV shows, like you like anytime something, even in the news, something happened anytime anything happened that was bad, and my mom wanted to like express, hey, this is why I tell you to don't go outside at this time unless you So she would be like, hey, come watch the news, and it's a story about a girl missing or whatever, or some things that happened and it could have possibly been prevented. Yeah. So it was movies that on top of movies that my mom made me watch and sit down for. I mean, I've seen Roots. I've seen, and then I learned more of like black culture when I went to college that I never knew, because a lot of high schools don't teach it.
Right.
And I remember when I was in school, I was one of them. I was kind of a rebel, because I was the one that was like, when they started talking about Christopher Columbus, I was like, that's the man that stole the land. Like I wasn't doing no faking, but now we're losing more and more history of people having that understanding, because you have AI, you have a lot of misinformation, and people are going to ChatGPT, which is incorrect at times too. Yeah. Like, or Grok, what they use on X, that are still incorrect at times. Yeah. And people are just be like, oh, if it's not in here, it's gone. And it's like, it's a concern with the education department and all these things that are being speculated that might change, of people losing touch with their ancestry, their heritage, and the real true history, because it's a lot of things that I didn't learn until, like I said, I took certain classes in college that were never taught, and I had no idea. And it's like, if you know more about your history, regardless of where you come from, if you knew more about American history and wherever, your descendants are from, your ancestors are from, you would likely behave a little bit differently, because you would have a little bit more pride about yourself. You would care more. You'd be like, I come from kings and queens. I ain't finna act like this. So I think we lose touch of that. Yeah. But if you don't know that yourself, how can you teach that to your kids? Yeah. So it's like, if you're a parent, I feel like you have to. I always tell you, being a parent is a big responsibility, because you all still have to continue to gain knowledge too, to inform your kids of stuff that's coming their way that you haven't even touched yet.
Right. And we got a lack of documentation and knowledge. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, that's what I'm saying. So how do you even start with being a parent? Like, it's no real handbook.
No, you learn as you go.
You learn as you're flying the plane, or you're what is it called? You're building the plane as you're flying it. Yeah,
take the good from what your parents did. Look at the bad and try to correct. Right. That's all you can do.
That's literally all you can do.
And I think one big factor that people leave out and don't care to realize is everybody worries about what's impacting their kids, but they don't think about what impact their kids have. You know what I mean? So like, I could say from experience that, like, I was able to impact some of the white kids from a sense of sharing culture, and sharing like inviting them to the family cookouts and letting them see how a different side is, you know? Yeah. And like, I could say, like, my childhood best friend, white dude, he definitely was impacted in a positive way, something that gave him a different side of life that he didn't have before, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I think that although you don't want your kid to go through the struggle of dealing with some of that adversity,
of course,
you not only are they building thicker skin and having that tougher shell, but they could also be, as long as you're, reinforcing it at home and making sure you're doing your part to educate your kid on your own culture, they could be helping other people with, they could come from a home of bigots, racists, whatever the case may be, and you could be breaking that cycle within someone else's family. And although that's not affecting you, it should feel good to know that your kid impacted somebody else's life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's just one avenue that people don't think about at all.
And I'm hearing you say basically within that too is like, why hide certain aspects away from your kids when they're going to have to experience it? Does that go for the same? I think it does for me. I think it goes for the same in my opinion, but I want to know yours real quick. Does that go for the same thing when it comes to people of different sexual preference? Because you get a lot of big conversations of people like, oh, I don't want this to like people being gay or it's new. This has been around for centuries. You can find some history on people that held very high positions in government, inventors of things that we use each and every day, writers of some things that are very pivotal that were closeted because they were in a decade of time that wasn't, it wasn't accepted. I mean, so I feel like people sometimes feel like, oh, it's too much on the TV. This is it's just now, it's just there now. It was already there. Yeah. I feel like that's a difference too, but.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain things that, like, I don't think sexuality should be talked about in, like, say, like, elementary schools in that manner.
You think it's an age for any of that?
Yeah, for any of that, yeah.
I agree.
But, like, the stress and pressure that comes with that, in society, like, it's definitely getting better as far as being like looked at as a norm. But like at one point there's so much stress and pressure that comes with that to be able to empathize with that, I think is important because that's just from the human, being human factor.
And I feel like that's what it comes down to with all of the stuff we're talking about is teaching your kids that to treat everybody equally. Right. You know what I'm saying? Having respect for people. And just because you don't understand them does not mean you should treat people or disregard their feelings or disregard them or like be like, treat people terrible. Yeah. And that's just all it is at the end of the day is, when it's teaching your kids, I know it's alone, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot. But if you are treating your kid to be a stand-up individual, you know what I'm saying? Make sure they stand up for people when they see them taken advantage of. Yeah. Just the regular respectable things, which people I feel like have lost touch with. You got a lot of angry people out there in the world. And if you got angry people raising kids, you're just raising more angry people and more angry kids that are gonna,
no cycles being broken.
Yeah, no cycles being broken. So teaching your kids to be respectful and that, hey, if this is maybe your sense of belief with religion, you can do that, but that doesn't give you the right to treat people.
Right. Nah, that's the dumb part is like the fact that these ignorant people allow that stuff to get passed down and don't correct it themselves, because they learned it from their parents the same way their parents learned it. Yeah. And it's like you said, it's just like you want to treat everybody with respect and I think that empathy part is the biggest thing because like everybody deals with their own stresses. And like, imagine having to hide who you truly are. You know what I mean?
Right. It's not gonna be well with you.
Yeah, that's stuff that eats people away. And
it does.
And to be able to empathize that with other people, especially like at a young age, like high school, middle school time, like that's when your formative years of figuring out the type of person you're gonna be. Is just be a good person and treat everybody equally, and yeah, that's it.
That's it. You gotta drop the mic on that. Where is the East Side? You gotta drop the mic. Another episode 33 of the Offer Hustle. Appreciate you.